Today on the Spiel.
What a book.
Yeah, they have.
Hi there.
Look at that.
How do I know you?
So here's the story. Sometimes we are dealt blows in life, and we have to get to what is really meant for us. And if we keep our hearts and our minds and we pray about it, God will answer those prayers.
Yes.
And that happened for you,
Yes.
young man.
Told God I would never marry again. I would preach all my days, and that would be the end of it. But God had a different plan. And one day, I was sitting out by the fire pit, and God told me, stay here and don't move, and I'll bring you a wife. And so from that day forward,
Not just anyone.
I knew God had a plan.
We have a noted chef in our kitchen, Chef Dwayne Ingraham. You've probably seen him on the Food Network, a number of different shows. So we know that you have nerves of steel. You can cook under any pressure. And
Did you know it's my favorite dessert ever?
oh,
No, I had no idea.
Banana Foster with crepes.
Wipe away those tears you cry. Be with you morning, noon, and night. This is care, not obsession, so don't let our love die. Just love me. Just love me or else, yeah.
This is the Spiel.
Hey, how are you?
I'm good. You know what? I'm ready to get into this.
Look, I feel like we should preface this show, the Spiel. She's been talking about it all week. She's into this mind reading stuff, and I know that you guys are tuning in for it. You've told me, you see me out in public, you're like, how does Julie do it? Is she reading your poker face? Does she know, how is she so in tune to things? And I'm like, I don't know. She has another trick this week.
First, it's not a trick, honey. It's not tricks. It's mind reading. Do you think I'm real?
You're real.
Do you think what I'm doing is real?
You are not going to put me on the table and make me disappear or chop me in half or anything like that.
Darn. Okay, cut. Just real quick.
We believe in Julie, everyone.
I have a bottle of sanitizer, my purse stuff.
Yes.
Sanitizer. I've got my keys, my car keys. I got my water bottle.
Okay, this is real.
It's
all real stuff.
And my lipstick I had in my pocket. Okay.
Oh, that's
and then
a good
I
shade.
needed one more thing, so I grabbed from our handy dandy
Pool table. What are the chances you have a pool table in studio? We do.
Ball, okay?
Yeah.
Now, I'm going to turn my back completely around and you point to something and I'll tell you what you pointed to. Okay? Here we go. I'm completely around.
Is she around, guys?
Can you
is
see
she
me?
peeking? Okay, everybody at home, it's legit.
It's legit.
Okay, I'm going to point to something.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Okay, I'm ready.
No, I'm kidding. I'm not going to point at that. Okay, do I stay pointed?
It's an hour show. No, just get it. Just point it so the guys know it's legit.
Okay, it's right there. Okay, they saw it. Everybody saw
Are
it.
you ready?
Yes.
Okay.
Now I'm not going to look at her because apparently she reads the eyes.
Okay. No, I need to see you. I need to see your eyes.
No.
Keys.
Yep.
Dude. What? Is there a mirror?
No, there's not. It's crazy.
She pulled it off. I don't know if
Okay,
you guys saw
try me
episode
again.
1 was perfect. Episode 2 failed miserably. Said a little bleep word. You killed it, girl. That's good.
Wait a minute. Now, the guys are thinking out there, Cameraland, that, 1 in 5, what's the chance?
What's the chance?
Okay,
Right,
let's do
right,
it
right.
again. Ready? Here, I'll look over here toward
What if I mix them up?
Lucas.
Can I mix them up and
Sure,
still know? Okay.
sure,
okay,
absolutely. Do
okay,
what you want with
okay,
those.
Okay.
Mix them up.
Do you guys have a
Lucas
preference
is
of what I
looking
point
at
to?
me.
Okay.
I
We're
know
gonna
we're
go.
looking.
Okay. Rob says this is what I'm pointing
Okay.
at. Okay.
Ready?
Did she make eye contact with you the whole time, Lucas? Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, she wasn't cheating, everybody. Lucas says it. Okay.
Let me see your eyes.
Hey, what's up, girl?
That.
What?
Is that right?
Yes.
Dude, how? Okay, Liz, look.
No, I go on Google mind reading, and I had been studying and studying. I need a talent, okay? You got all kinds of talent. I need a talent.
That's amazing.
So one more time, just for grins and giggles, okay?
You really want to do it again? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, watch this.
Lucas, watch me.
I don't think I can. I do it, okay. Okay, what if we sabotage you purposely? Is that okay?
No, I've been focusing on those objects. Put them where you want to, yeah. Don't throw nothing else in there. Because I had a big thing with those, yeah.
A
You
big
ready?
thing, a big connection, a big thing with those, a big connection. It's not this.
Okay.
It is not the cup.
Well, that told me it's this, water, liquid.
Yeah, that's good. Julie, we're ready to take it on the road, baby. We're ready to take the show on the
How
road.
about that, guys?
All right, stick around. I promise we have a whole lot of other mystical, wonderful, mind-reading moments coming up. So stay right there. It's crazy.
Coming up on the Spiel.
But I knew God had a plan, and over 4 years, God gave me visions. He gave my mom, which is my pastor, visions, and my dad visions.
Let's talk about those.
Yes.
So
Visions, as
There's
in
Amanda. That would be the
this is
vision
her.
right
And
there.
it was her name he gave you.
Yes,
The name.
my mom got her name first, Amanda. And then one night after they'd gone to bed, I was sitting by their old wood stove, and I was praying, and I saw Amanda, and then I saw Gill written out. And at the same
happens
time,
to be
God
her name.
spoke to me, Amanda Gill.
And coming up later in the show,
So,
I'm gonna be in all my shows.
like a
when I was
lot has happened to you, right? I mean, you kind of got married.
married. Yes.
Yes. No.
okay.
Okay. And I'm so thrilled. We have one daughter already, but we're going to announce the gender of baby number 2 today. You don't even know yet. It's amazing.
No.
She had tried to obtain testing, wasn't able to. We were able to provide the tests for her, and within 2 days we had the results knowing that it was positive.
My name is Shirley McElwan. I came down with some head congestion after sleeping 14 hours. I woke up and I had a low-grade fever.
Our corporation was able to provide testing pretty early. That's how we were able to diagnose some of the patients that we have that are COVID positive. So initially we started her on Zithromax, and we sent her home. We would check on her routinely at least twice a day.
She was very reassuring. It just was a pleasant experience in a really bad time.
5 weeks total, and then she had a negative COVID.
They were there for anything that I needed. I would recommend CRHPC to anyone, and I have recommended them to my own family.
We are taking every precaution to protect our patients, so you need to come in for your regular follow-ups, for immunizations. Children need to see us for well checks. Those are all regular things we do every day, and they still need to keep those appointments.
So we hear it all of the time that you just need to be patient. You're going to find the one, whether it's in the frozen food section, whether it's when you go to school, but then you also have to be careful because, man, there can be a lot of...
I didn't know it was a God thing.
It wasn't like that, though.
No.
I mean, welcome, guys.
Yeah.
Yes.
Brandon and Amanda,
Yes.
thank you for being here. And thank you for having us. What a book.
Yeah, they have. Look
Hi
at that.
there.
Look at that.
How do I know you?
This is amazing. So here's the story. I know you guys, people will use this as an instruction manual. You know, they want this to happen for them. But sometimes we are dealt blows in life, and we have to get to what is really meant for us. And if we keep our hearts and our minds and we pray about it, God will answer those prayers.
Yes.
And that happened for you,
Yes,
young man.
absolutely.
Tell us about that.
Well, it was a pretty incredible story, but I want to give a shout out to our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ.
Amen.
If it wasn't for him, we would not be here today.
Right.
And I told him that if he did what he said, that I would always point the spotlight back to him. So I'm excited to be here today. But it's a story that is just incredible. I went through a divorce when I was young, and this book is really a lot about hope.
Yeah.
And I moved back into my parents' house when I was young. And
you were done
been
with
through a divorce.
relationships.
Yes.
You were done, never to
I
marry again. He had
told
already
God
made-
I would never marry again. I would preach all my days, and that would be the end of it. But God had a different plan. And one day, I was sitting out by the fire pit, and God told me, and he said, stay here and don't move, and I'll bring you a wife. And I went into our house, and my dad was there, who's a very anointed man. He's been in the ministry for over 20 years, very cross states within ministries, very reverend as far as prophetic alignment. And he says, God told me to tell you that he's going to bring you a woman. And so from that day forward,
Not just any
I
woman.
knew God had a plan.
Right.
And, I spent a lot of time through depression and suicidal thoughts, demons. And my pastor, which is my dad, really brought me through all that, my mom. And I really stuck close to them. But I knew God had a plan. And over 4 years, God gave me visions. He gave my mom, which is my pastor, visions, and my dad visions.
Let's talk about those.
Yes.
So
Visions, as
There's
in
Amanda.
Yes,
That would be the
this is
vision
her.
right
And
there.
it was her name he gave
Yeah.
you.
Yes,
The name.
my mom got her name first, Amanda. And one day we're getting into our Honda Civic, and God had impressed on her the name Amanda. And she said, hey, does Amanda mean anything to you? And I said, no, not particularly. And she's like, well, you need to start praying about it. So I did. And then one night after they'd gone to bed, I was sitting by their old wood stove, and I was praying, and I saw Amanda, and then I saw Gill written out. And at the same
happens
time,
to be
God
her name.
spoke to me, Amanda Gill.
Wow.
From my mom got her name first, and then I had her last name, so then we combined the two.
Was he talking to you, Amanda?
Yes.
God was talking to you too?
Well, no.
Not during that time yet. She's
no,
like, I don't know
I
what's
was
going
I was
on.
praying about him,
The right
about
relationship.
him, the right
Sure.
man.
Yeah.
But you had no.
No, I didn't have anything
And
like
she's
that.
in Iowa,
Yeah.
okay? So
Yeah.
they probably would not have just met in that frozen aisle. I was
So we lived over 650 miles apart.
About 10 hours away.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's get to the part where you look her up and you're what are you thinking? What?
I just
Well, no. How did it? Okay, so you were not on Facebook, and your dad.
No,
made,
I ran
asked you
our
to-
church Facebook account,
Right.
but I did not have a Facebook myself just
Right.
because I didn't want to deal with it. I didn't have time.
You had
And
Googled.
then-
She wasn't coming up on Google, so
Yes.
you needed to get into
So
Facebook. Okay.
now that I had what she looked like, I actually went on to Facebook and I started just typing in Amanda Gill. And one day I found a profile that I thought looked like the woman God has shown me in the
Right.
vision.
A couple of times.
And so I thought, well, that looks like the woman. So I called my dad in out of his study, and I said, Dad, I was like, this looks like the woman that I saw. And so we had it bookmarked on our old laptop for probably a year.
Wow.
And not knowing, but I would pray about it. Then one day my dad comes in, he says, you need to get a Facebook. I was like, Dad, I don't want one. But then he told me that it was a God thing
Yeah.
and that I needed to get a Facebook. So at that moment, trusting my dad very much, I created an account, threw a profile picture up, and then he said, friend her, and I was like, whoa. I was
a big
like,
move.
are you sure? He's like, I'm sure. And he was tapping his fingers like this. When my dad does that, he's like, he's
Something's
connected
up.
with
That's
God.
right. Here we go.
And that's just something I know about him. So I did the Facebook, and then I said, okay, we got it. He's like, friend her. And so I did. And we're kind of waiting. And 3 seconds later, she says, hi there. How do I know
How do
you?
I know you?
And that's the title of our book.
Okay, what were you thinking? When
So
you
at
kicked
first,
in?
I didn't know anything. I didn't know any of this.
didn't know any of it.
God
This could have been a
stuff.
psycho?
This guy just okay. My dad and my brother's first reaction when I told them after I had been talking to him for a little while, our conversation was going and everything great. Stayed all Christian. I loved that. I was impressed about that
Absolutely.
at first because I didn't have.
And you do that in your book. You guys are quoting scripture the
Yeah.
whole way through.
Yeah.
So you're staying
Absolutely.
through
So it was
that.
all Christian and just like, but the first thing my parents said, my dad and my brother was, well, this could be a serial killer.
Ooh.
So
Meet in a public place.
they
Yes.
took a lot of convincing after a while, but I was impressed with him right from the beginning, just by his profile. Everything was Christian. He was pastor on there, and I was just impressed
He
with
created
it.
the whole thing for you. You realize that?
Yeah,
Absolutely.
now, yeah.
Did
At the time, I didn't know that.
so he was like, "You're the one." God told me.
Did you-
Well,
on
when
that
I
tour
first
about-
messaged her on Facebook, I said, hi, I'm a Christian, basically. Nice to meet you. I saw the Christian things on your profile. I mean, I didn't want to come off and say the first thing I said.
Yeah,
that'd
he
be
didn't
a
say
little
it
supposed
right
to get
away. He
married,
was just approached
you know?
me from a very Christian,
Yeah.
way, friend, just a friend.
Yeah.
But you said it took you a little longer to.
Yes, once because it was about a week that we had been
Yeah, and then we
conversing.
exchanged numbers. But in the beginning, I began to send her sermons. I created a YouTube page,
Love
and
that.
I would
And I was
tape
very
my
impressed with the
sermons every
sermons.
Sunday. And then I would send her those so she could watch them.
Did she critique your sermons, or did she write
They
back
were
and
very
say,
well
There you
well
go.
written,
There
and
you
I
go.
just thought it was very God. It was just very impressive.
The other thing that impresses me about you is you had made a vow or a pledge to yourself, even before meeting him,
Yep.
that you did not want to, you wanted to enter a marriage pure. I'm talking down to a kiss.
Did you hug?
Yeah, we hugged.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, but I wore a purity ring and everything for years, and I knew that I had made that with God, and myself, that I would
Nothing.
not be physical with any man, until
How about that?
until my first.
What a
the one
testimony,
that I would
huh?
marry.
Look how
Yes,
they
it
were blessed,
is.
no doubt.
It is.
So that's why you ran in and you didn't make it to the bench that you were going to propose. You had to do it out there, and then you
Yes.
went and got married, and then you're like, okay, honey.
She knows my personality very
Yes.
well too, and just I get done things very
It's very-
quickly. And so
How
we were walking
impatient
up,
at
and I was like, I
times.
can't do it anymore. So I just dropped to one knee and asked her to be
He
my
couldn't
wife.
make it to the
But
bench.
I think I find it adorable.
That
Yeah.
was so
Very
cute.
cute.
He was so excited.
Yeah.
So what'd your folks think? I mean, you come from a
I mean,
Christian
they were
family.
impressed at once he came onto the picture. Him and his parents came up
Yeah.
and saw us. He actually brought his parents the first time that he came up, so that was another thing that was pretty awesome. He didn't just come up by himself. He brought his
no.
parents, and that spoke to me too.
Because
you know,
they had
so-
been part of it. Such an
Oh yeah,
important part.
they received just as much on Amanda as I did. So it
Wow.
wasn't just me coming up there saying we're supposed to get married. It was my pastors coming up there with me saying this is a God thing.
That's
and I
awesome.
think when you know God, even the Spirit inside of us bears
Sure.
witness to one another.
Yeah.
What
And
was
I
the
think
mention
that's
of-
what made it easier.
Oh, no doubt. What was the mention of the accident? What is that about?
Yeah.
Well,
So
you-
I was at home, and her brother called me and said, "Hey, Amanda's been in an accident." And it was actually she was going to her church then, and
I just got done working out.
Yep.
Okay.
So I got kind of, I don't know, hot.
Yeah.
I started feeling a pain in my stomach, and I couldn't explain it at all, but it was getting really intense. I was going on the interstate, probably about 50 some miles an hour, 50, 60, and then I passed out as I was driving. I was just by myself. And I just got done working out, and I was going to try to make it to my church to do a little bit of work because I was the receptionist there at the time.
Okay.
I was going to do some work for that evening, and I was just thinking, what is going on? And I just passed out because of the pain.
Yep.
And then I woke up, and there was a guy to my right coming in. He was a police officer, and then there was one to the left. Then there was one behind me holding my head because they didn't know if I had a neck injury. And they got me in an ambulance and took me to the hospital, and I had a punctured lung, a fractured rib.
yeah.
So it was very hard to breathe. But that was I had a pretty beat up face. There's a picture in the book.
Yeah, I saw that. And that's when you learn the difficulties of that long distance
Yes,
relationship.
yes, because I just walked out of the house and her brother called and says, she's been in an accident. Well, at that time, I was like, how bad is it?
Right.
And so.
Because I hadn't responded to him for
Yeah.
many hours.
So I knew
Okay.
something was wrong because she hadn't responded by text or phone call.
Wow.
But God saw her through, and
Yeah.
she actually hit a small tree, and it kept her from
It was
going
the
over
only
into a
tree
ravine.
there. It's another remarkable
So-
thing. It was the only tree
Going
there.
over what?
And there was
A
like this
ravine.
huge ravine.
Yes.
Because our church is up on a huge hill. There's a lot of land.
God
and
is so good.
Yeah, it was
That's
amazing. It was the
awesome.
only tree that stopped my car.
Let's get to
Unbelievable.
The car was
the
total.
kiss.
Uh-huh.
The first kiss.
They're like, can
How
you
did it
break it
feel?
up now? Or-
How did, what?
It felt good. It was standing up on the altar, and we were up there making our vows before God and then before the congregation, and we kissed for the first time, and that kind of sealed what we did
Was
before
the
God.
congregation
Special.
going, come on, guys?
Yeah,
No.
it's like,
We gotta
wow,
go.
That's a
Oh
long
no, I
way.
didn't even look at him at that point. I was
Yeah, we were just focused
happy
on
to be
each other.
married.
How
It was special.
Yes.
This is just the benefits of truly waiting for the right time and the right person. And you all, congratulations. Apparently, you
you.
really like each other. You got 3 kids, and you got another one on the way.
Yep,
Yes.
pregnant for 11 weeks here.
That's
Yes.
fantastic.
And
And
our
she
book,
looks like
you know-
she's never had a child.
Yeah,
It's
no doubt.
amazing.
Our book really offers hope, and
Yes,
that's our
it
thing,
does.
is for single teenagers, adults. It's
It
available
does.
on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, Books A Million, Walmart's carrying
Yeah.
it.
He's a
So you
God
can
of
order it
hope.
online.
Just
and,
be patient.
It just shows what
be
God is
patient.
capable of.
No doubt.
And
it cannot be in your time. It has to be in His
always,
time.
Absolutely.
right.
absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah. So, if you guys don't mind, we want to have a little bit of fun with you when we come
Sure.
back from the break. Are you game? Are you
Yeah, let's do
game?
it.
All right.
Bring it
so
on.
We'll be right back. Oh, I like her. Bring it on. We'll be right back.
This will give you the ability to chew and eat just like you have a third set of teeth. Over the course of the past 20 years, I became trained in implant dentistry. Those surgeries can be very invasive. IV sedation is an ideal thing for those patients that are having more invasive procedures. The doctor needs to be well trained. You need to have a trained staff to get through their appointments smoothly and comfortably.
See the leader in dental implants and sedation dentistry, Hughes Dental Arts Center.
Okay, you know them, you love them. It's the couple that God put together, right? It took a little while, but they're here and they're loving life.
They are.
Yeah.
We've got a little game for you, okay?
Awesome.
Yeah. Okay.
You have to shut your eyes. And then
No
when we-
peeking.
And when we give you a question, whoever it refers to the most,
Right. It's
point
either
her
I am
or
she
you.
is.
Okay.
Right.
And we're
He
just
is,
going to
I
see
am.
how well you know each other.
You know each other.
Okay.
Okay.
Here
And
we go.
We're going to take questions from the studio audience.
We've
too.
been married
Okay.
4 years. Keep that.
Married 4 years, dated 4 years, right? Okay, here we go.
Okay. Shut your eyes.
Brandon, you ready?
Yep.
Okay, Amanda, you ready?
Yes.
Okay, here we go. Guys, this is the couple to watch. Now, we know that you have young children, you have another on the way. Which of you is the disciplinarian? Got to be faster.
Okay. They had to think about it.
Okay.
Okay. We all of us, even God, I think, on the roads would have a little road rage. Who gets a little more upset driving than the other? Okay. All right.
That's good. Okay. So it's something you probably do before your meals, right? And typically if you have a guest over and you're going to pray, which of you would pray longer and the food might be cold by the time you get to it? That's great.
Okay, which of you likes pizza the most? Okay.
Okay. Who goes to bed first at night? Okay.
Which one of you is more modest?
This is great.
Any questions?
Marcus, what you got? Which one does the dishes? Which one does the dishes?
Oh, I'm
Love
next to
it.
marry him. I'm next.
And who would change the most diapers? Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, eyes open. There was a lot
job.
where you pointed at each other.
You
was
did.
it?
So that's good.
Which one was
That's
that?
good.
There was a lot.
couple. It was
Yeah.
very
Very
cute. Guys, your story is so inspirational.
Thank you.
So much for coming out. We know
Yes.
how we can find the book. It's a great read, not only to hear about their story, but also to help yourself and absolutely to just give you hope because, you know, if you are still and you are patient and you keep those eyes open, it is amazing what God will put in your path.
Amen.
Amen.
So, all right, thanks so much.
Thank you so much for
guys.
having
We wish
us.
you the best.
Yes.
Yes, absolutely. All right, we'll be right back. Stay right there.
Stick around. Coming up later.
Here, I mean, listen, we got the wife. We're about to have a baby. Yeah. Okay.
Can we start with the heartbeat? Can we start with the heartbeat in the microphone?
Listen. That is so cool.
Our legal team is the reason that we're able to handle the amount of volume and the complex cases that we have. We have probably combined experience of over 50 years just in our legal assistance alone. There's a lot of people, and it's a team that we're incredibly proud of as we genuinely care about the combined success of one another, which is the combined purpose of really just making sure that every client that we have gets the best possible outcome every single time.
Hi, Chef Rob here, bringing you a protein-packed quick breakfast to take on the go. First, we take about a half cup of oats and a cup of Prairie Farms whole milk. And a little bit of brown sugar. You can white sugar or your favorite sweetening packet, whatever you prefer. Cap it up, swirl it a bit, stick it in your refrigerator for overnight. Then next day, you have instant breakfast to go in your cup holder. I like to put a little walnuts and a little bit of raisins in mine. There you have protein-packed instant breakfast. check out our website at prairiefarms.com.
The Spiel presents You're On, 100% original new music.
Hello, 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 Spiel world out there. My name is Matt Basler. I'm going to be playing some tunes for you today. This is a song I wrote. It's based off of the Netflix TV show called You. It is called You. Tell by the look in your eyes, yeah, you felt it. Real love, babe, realize, babe. And I would like to satisfy all the things that you need, from your inside out, or to the heart to beat, beat, beat. You don't know what you run into, baby. Smooth sway, silk skin, sliding through my gaze, yes. So baby, just love me, oh, so love me, so love me or else, yes. So love me, so love me or else, yeah. And I apologize, yeah, if I get carried away, but your soul, your phone, it gets the best of me. And these things I do, say, well, I do for you. For every strand of your hair, I put my hands through, and you don't know what you've run into, baby. Tie you up and play with you for days, yeah. So baby, just love me, ooh, so love me, so love me or else, yeah. So love me, so love me or else, yeah. And I can't wait to crawl inside into a place in your mind where I no longer have to hide these feelings. I wipe away those tears you cry, be with you morning, noon, and night. This is care, not obsession, so don't let our love die. Just love me, just love me or else, yeah. Just love me, just love me or else, yeah. Just love me, yeah. Well, just love me or else, nah, nah. Just love me, yeah. Well, just love me or else, nah, nah.
You know
Wow. I
so
just wanna say
much.
wow.
Yes, wow,
Guys.
wow. We always say wow, don't we?
You know what's
so
better
sweet to
than
me.
wow? That's the highest to me.
You're so sweet to me.
Are you?
Thanks, guys.
Are you?
Thank you for having me back.
Hey, you
I
can
love this
always
show.
come back. You can always come back.
I will take you up on that.
You
I will
know,
be here.
you know why we brought you back?
No. Why is that?
Because he's like the best. I mean, one of the best artists. Do you feel, Julie, the growl, ugh.
I like how he takes you from here to here.
Right,
You know what I mean?
right,
I love
right,
that.
right,
I love
right.
that.
They're so nice to me. I need to have them in all my shows.
So
they're going to be in all my shows.
Like a
Okay.
lot has happened to you, right? I mean, you kind of got married.
Yes.
Yes.
I
No.
got-
Okay. And I'm so thrilled. We have one daughter already, but we're going to announce the gender of baby number 2 today. You don't even know yet. It's amazing.
No.
It's really great.
No.
So can we have Tanaka and Magnolia when she's in trouble? What do you say? How do you call her?
Well, you know, you do the full name.
The second
Tanaka.
name. Yes, Tanaka.
Magnolia Jean.
Tanaka, you're coming on up too. We got the whole fam here. I mean, listen, we got the wife. We're about to have a baby. Yeah. Okay.
Can we start with the heartbeat? Can we start with the heartbeat in the microphone?
Oh, sister. She just blew it. She just told the sex of the baby.
She did.
Come on, she did.
Is it this microphone that will pick up the heartbeat?
We got a little girl. Oh, listen. That is so cool.
Yes.
Well, you know, congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you
Yes,
guys so
yes,
much.
thank you. That's so, thank you, and that's so great.
Those are bunny kisses.
Would you look at this little girl right here? And you know what, Mom and Dad, look. I mean, what does every little girl want, right?
What do they want?
A tractor.
Yes.
Like lots of tractors. Like lots of tractors. I happen to know the author, so
Yes.
we were able to.
Ooh, all right.
Let's see what we have, okay? So Julie, you want to
my
pull it? What do we have in there?
We have
Bag of
got-
goodies.
How sweet is this? You guys are so
Timmy, the tractor. Look, he's got a little handle.
Look at that.
Do you see his handle? Look at
And
that.
one for your
my
sister.
goodness.
Oh, this will be for sister, okay?
These are your first matching
And they're going,
stuff.
please no, because I don't want to put it in the nursery.
You
It's
don't
like
have to
not
worry
gonna be there.
about sharing.
Oh,
So
look
you
at
both
this.
got one. How about that?
Okay. Now, will this one fit you?
Who's that going to be for?
Who's that going to be for her?
The baby sister.
That's the baby
that's
sister.
right.
But look at this one here.
This one's for you.
Another matching outfit.
Oh my God.
This is the latest in Timmy wear, you know.
And you know
Great.
what? Baby's due in January, right?
Yeah.
So
That's
long
right.
sleeve for
Yeah.
sister.
That's right.
and
That's
Be
right.
perfect.
That's right. All right, we happen to have books.
We
Do you
love
like
books.
storybooks?
You look at the
Do you know who that person is right there?
Who is that?
She goes, I don't know. Yep, but there you go, guys. So your little girls
thank you
will be
so
ready
much.
to, yeah. I mean, and you this won't fit you, right?
That's not going to fit you,
No,
right?
no,
You're too
no.
big.
Okay.
You're a big girl.
We can put it back in the bag if you want to.
Oh my gosh. Thank you guys.
Congratulations again. Yes, you're amazing. Definitely follow this guy. Find him on social media. You're always entertaining crowds and
Okay, baby. Come on.
she's a teacher, so you're going to try to meander your way through the school year. Lord help us all. Goodness gracious. All right. Well, thanks again, guys.
Thank you.
Hey, thank you
Yeah.
guys.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you
Yeah.
guys so much
No,
for having
this
us
is
on.
you.
This
Thank you
is
for all
real
this.
love, not that
Hey.
crazy love he sang about. Yeah, that was kind of nutso,
Right, right.
Okay.
That's
We're not
if
crazy.
you've seen the TV show.
We're a different way.
If you've seen the TV show, you know exactly what I'm talking about.
All right, we'll be right back.
So who's coming up on the spiel, Rob?
Check this out.
You know, from definitely one of those Southern families where grandma's like, feed the children, right?
That's right,
So
all day.
my mother had me, you know, young. She was 18, right? So just freshly married, had me, and my grandmother was like, you can't raise this child yet. So she took us, and so the rumor is that, you know, she fed me like a full jar of baby food at the age of like, 4 months old or something like that or whatever.
We have 11 clinics. A lot of people don't know that throughout Southern Illinois. So I think it's very important that people realize that we are open for business. We've taken precautions. School will probably be starting in the fall. You still have to get your children vaccinated. They still need well visits. We do DOT physicals here annually. They can get a Medicare wellness visit here.
We don't want you to be scared because we're not scared. We want to be your medical home for every effort and every medical need you have.
Logan Fitness is all about the community.
I've been coming here for years, and it's like one big family.
It's a place where I can push myself.
Healthy living and socializing with my friends.
I walk into Logan Fitness and I'm always greeted with a smile and someone friendly at the front desk.
There's something here for all ages, and everyone is super friendly.
It's a place where I can become the best person that I can be.
The gym doesn't have to feel like an intimidating place.
Now listen, we are super excited today. We have a noted chef in our kitchen, Chef Dwayne Ingraham. Thank you so much. He said, Angie, I can't roll my R's, but I tried Ingraham. Ingraham.
I think it should be Sir Ingraham.
Yes, no doubt. A noted chef indeed. You've probably seen him on the Food Network, a number of different shows. So we know that you have nerves of steel. You can cook under any pressure, right?
Well, you know, most things don't bother me, right? We try and keep it calm and collected.
Right in your face?
You know, one show I was actually handcuffed and tied to one when I was on Cutthroat Kitchen. We had to cook through half a round, tied together by the hip.
Get him out of here. We're tying it up. But again, we thank Prairie Farms for making this possible, and we thank you so much for making the trip from Nashville, Tennessee, which is where you live.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And
did you know it's my favorite dessert ever?
Oh.
No, I had no idea.
Banana Foster with crepes.
She just gave it away. That was it, right there.
Oh my!
That's
I
what
think
it
this
is.
might help a little bit too.
You know, you have Southern influence. You were raised, you know, down south, and was it Louisiana, New Orleans? Which area?
So below New Orleans.
Okay.
I am actually, if you can picture the state, that little toe that sticks out.
Yeah.
I'm from right smack on the end of it, in the middle of the bayou.
Very good.
So I guess you're good at cooking like Louisiana.
All that
Creole.
Creole.
I do enjoy a little gumbo and crawfish
Yes.
etouffee and shrimp Creole. And so when I had a bakery, that was one of the twists we did. We did biscuits and gravy, but we used crawfish etouffee as the gravy on top of the buttermilk biscuits.
He's coming back. You got to come back to do that.
definitely one of the things
That's amazing.
I love
So
to do.
who are your influences? Who did you watch growing up?
You know, I watched my family growing up. You know, from definitely one of those Southern families where grandmother's like, feed the children, right?
That's right,
You know,
all day.
My mother had me, you know, young. She was 18, right? So just freshly married, had me, and my grandmother was like, you can't raise this child yet. So she took us, and so the rumor is that, you know, she fed me like a full jar of baby food at the age of like, you know, 4 months old or something like that or whatever. And so they say that my gut's been stretched ever since.
That's it.
So yeah, so those were the type of influences that I had growing up. You know, my mother's not so much a cooker. She made sure that we were self-sufficient pretty early on. My father actually did most of the cooking in our household growing up.
Oh, nice.
But my mother enjoyed baking. I still think she makes the best sweet potato pie around. So.
Does she know that you've been named the best baker in like America?
You know, I think she may have heard about it. I'm not quite 100% sure, but yeah, she definitely took
Grandma
some.
taught you a lot too.
Yes. My grandmother is.
Grandmas just knew how to cook.
They did. They really did, and her grandmother as well too. So.
No doubt. Well, what are you going to prepare, and why did you choose this dish?
So we're going.
him.
Yeah, she called him.
So I'm going to prepare banana Foster's crepe, and so I chose a dish to give some homage to my Louisiana and kind of like, you know, that Creole upbringing. So banana Foster's was founded in New Orleans at a restaurant called Brennan's, and so it's traditionally bananas that's flambéed with brown sugar and rum and cinnamon, and then poured over vanilla ice cream. Well, we're going to do a twist on that and kind of bring in some of my technique from culinary school. We're going to make some French crepes, and so we're going to stuff them with a cream cheese kind of filling to make up for the vanilla ice cream, and I'm going to pour the bananas over that.
Crepes,
What makes them French?
So I was taught that French crepes are kind of like French omelets. They have no color, right?
Okay.
You know, the Parisian crepe. So this, if we do it right today, it should be nice and white on the outside, just enough texture and structure to hold up and be able to fold into it.
All right.
You know, but sometimes I've seen people, you know, let them brown a little bit. That does get a little more depth of flavor in some sorts. But because we're going to do the banana Foster's on top, we don't need so much that nuttiness from the brownness of the crepe. We'll kind of get all of those flavors from banana foster mixture.
Well, let's do it, and then I'll tell you if you've been chopped or if you win.
All right, sounds good. So we're going to start actually with the filling first, so we'll just mix that up. And so what I have here is basically an 8-ounce package of cream cheese, 4 ounces of butter, right, and about a cup of powdered sugar. So I'm going to just take this here and let it just kind of mix together like that, right? I'm going to add just a little bit of this vanilla paste just for a little bit of flavor.
If you've looked at his Instagram page, he does some just decadent desserts, and you leave nothing undone. Like, you're really meticulous with your, the chocolate that you place or colored beads or whatever that you're using. So you also know how to cook, so we eat with our eyes as well.
That we do, and that was something that I learned in culinary school, right, was that, we eat with our eyes first. That is the first invitation to the plate that's before you, so we try our best to make those things look presenting, Now, there's some things that just look beautiful, just rustic. Like, there's nothing better than a messy cobbler that's just kind of oozing over the sides and it's falling down, right? But some things we try and place to make it look nice and neat. I'm going to get that pastry bag from you there.
Yes.
We're going to put our filling in here, and we're going to just stick this to the side, and we'll come back to this later.
I'll just lean over and open my mouth if you want to.
All right, so the crepe batter we're going to move on to next. We're going to just mix that up. And it's a really, really simple process, honestly. So I have a cup of flour, I have a teaspoon of sugar, and I have a 1/4 teaspoon of some kosher salt in there. Okay. Right? And so then we're going to add 3 eggs and some milk. We mix together. So typically they would say you should let your crepe batter rest for 30 minutes before using it, right? Well, the good thing about it is that that's because typically it's mixed with a machine, and it bloods and puts all this air in it, right? Incorporates air into it, right? Which is not necessarily a good thing. So what we're going to do is we're going to do it by hand, and it saves us a 30-minute rest time. Okay. So that's a little trip if you ever making crepes at home. You got to do them on the fly.
You've worked in some noted hotels in Las Vegas, and some big names. You want to talk about that?
I have been around a little bit. So my first internship was at the Ritz-Carlton in Sarasota, Florida. Okay. And I'll never forget it. I had my first French chef that I worked for. And I tell you what, Chef Guillaume was he was a lot to process, right? And it took me years to realize what the value of the lessons he were teaching me, right? Okay. But that was there. When I finished culinary school, though, I went off to Las Vegas, where I worked at the Wynn.
Wow. That's a nice one.
Yeah, and I got to go back just maybe like a month or two ago and actually stay there for the first time on the other side. So nice. I was so excited when I walked in, and I told the front desk agent, I was like, I worked here for 2 years before, so this is the first time I get to stay on this side of the walls, you know what I mean? And so it was nice, and they gave me a free room upgrade. So that kind of
good job.
Came in handy.
Probably wasn't nearly as good though, because you weren't back in the kitchen.
Right? Well, you know what? They've always done some amazing things at the Wynn, and I think that was no different. So
did you work at the MGM too?
I did. I also worked at the MGM Grand, and I worked for one of Michael Mina's restaurant, who's a well-known chef called Sea Blue.
Yes.
And we did that. I worked for a pastry chef, Chef Jackie Carabello, and from a true professional standpoint, that's my mentor. Okay. That's who has made me the meticulous, inspirational pastry chef that I am. I mean, she is amazing at what she does, and she taught me how to, think about not just what it was going to look like on the plate, but also what it was going to taste like. And so she was definitely a fan of believing that if it doesn't make sense on the palate, then it doesn't make sense on the plate.
He's just soothing his voice, right? I'd be like, okay, and you're actually working towards your own show, and you're going to stream and the whole 9 yards, right?
Yes, ma'am. I have a lot going on in that sense. So I just recently started a production company with my one of my culinary students, one of my culinary classmates.
Sure.
His name is David Romaine.
Okay.
And so what we are doing is we're going to actually produce my own TV show and cooking show. So it'll be hopefully me coming to you in some form of television stream setting, whether it be through YouTube or Instagram TV or something like that.
That is awesome.
Yeah. And
do you know what you're going to name it?
I was going to call it Pastry Chef Dwayne.
There it is.
And there's going to be right there.
That's how you find him. Yeah.
That's it. And we're also working on a cookbook. Well, not so much a cookbook, more like a kid's book. So we're calling it We Chef, right? And that's kind of a place, so, we normally say we chef. That's what we're taught to. Yes, chef in French, right? When
Okay.
we're coming up. Well, Chef David has 2 little girls,
Oui.
and he wants to empower the female movement back inside of professional kitchens. And so he
Yes.
wrote this cookbook, and it's all from the kids' point of view. So you'll
Love
see
it.
like little hands popping up above the stove and stuff like that. And he wants to make it very cultural. So
Love
yeah, so it's really cool. So we got a couple things working right
That's
now, and I'm
awesome.
really excited about.
We'll have to keep watching you, that's
Yes.
for sure.
All right, so here's our run. We should be good. So you said
Okay.
a little
Yes.
bit of color there, right?
Yes.
And so that should be nice and hot. So we want to, as we pour, we kind of want to just roll that around. You can see that already starting to form.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Thin is the answer.
Thin is
huh?
the answer. So we got a little hole there. So I'm going to just kind of pop that there, right? And then we're going to just let that kind of cook up. I'm going to just let that sit there for just a bit.
You just want one, Chef? Or?
Yes, ma'am. This one is perfect, right? So now we're going to go ahead and add our brown sugar in here. All right. So you see, that was part of the reason why we use that pan too. So it just kind of starts to slide right on out. There's some bubbles action. That brown sugar starting to melt with that butter. You can almost smell it, right? We'll take a little bit more of this vanilla paste just to get a little more flavor and depth. Just kind of hit it in there. Get that just a little stir. And then you can smell the aroma that comes through. All right, then we're gonna toss these bananas right on in.
Oh, yeah. We're going to be longtime friends, I can already tell.
And just kind of stir them around just a little
Chef,
bit.
you forgot to.
Oh, well, go. We got to leave tasters out, right? You got to test the banana to make sure it's nice and fresh.
Okay.
And then here comes the fun part, right?
Oh, boy, here we go, guys.
So-
Are we up to code on fire and all of that good
I
stuff?
hope so,
Okay.
right? So what I always do is stand back from the flame at first for safety purposes. You're gonna pour a little bit of that in there, right?
And what is that again?
This is rum, by the way. You're gonna come close to the flame, and you're gonna just let it catch up, right?
We have a lot of hairspray, Chef. I don't know.
That was fun.
All right, and you're gonna just kind of let that go until that comes down, and then we're gonna be ready for plating here shortly.
Look at this, Julie. God. And you do choose, I mean, you do lean to the sweet side of things and the pastries and the, that's your passion.
It is. It's what I went to school for. You know, I tell people all the time. So I was in college originally, going to the University of Southern Mississippi.
Right.
And having a great time.
Right.
But that doesn't necessarily mean I was a great student. But I was having a great time, right?
Right.
And well, during that process, I realized at some point, like, the fun was nice, right? And that was all fun. But at some point, we had to actually, we need to actually take the time to, we got to figure out what we're going to do with our life.
Sure.
So at that point, what I decided was I needed to figure out what it was. Well, I not always enjoy cooking and stuff, but I had never thought that honestly it could be a career.
Right.
So what I went to work at a restaurant, waiting tables, Chesterfield's, and there was chefs in the kitchen with coats on, and this whole world kind of got opened up to
They
me.
look cool, didn't they? You
Yeah,
thought, hey.
right. And I love food. Let's be
Right.
real about it, right? So that was always a plus. And so whenever I decided that traditional college wasn't necessarily going to work properly for me, that it wasn't the best idea, maybe, that it was time for me to give something else a go.
Work properly.
I decided that, I'll give culinary school a shot. So what I literally did is I got online, I applied to the New England Culinary Institute. Within a half an hour, they sent me some applications. By the next 2 days, I was approved, and I decided I'm moving to Vermont. And
There
I
you
went to
go.
culinary school. So it was just that.
That's incredible.
That's
just
great.
that simple. All right, so now here comes the fun part, right? I'm gonna just put it all together. Everything is made. And so we're gonna take this bag here, back with that cream cheese filling we have.
Oh, don't forget that.
We're gonna just a couple little rolls. Gonna roll it up like a burrito almost. Yeah, that's it. All right, so what I like to do at this point, though, just kind of help with that presentation just a little bit, just kind of cut them in half. Kind of make myself a little pyramid there, and then we can take these guys right here. We're gonna just kind of let that just drip on over.
That looks so good.
Oh, yeah. Is it one of your favorite desserts, Chef?
It is. I do. I love banana Fosters. And I also like to kind of play with the concept of it a little bit. So sometimes instead of using banana and rum, I like to do apples and bourbon, which is one of my favorites, especially around the fall time.
Wasn't there like an apple pie or something that won you a big award, or do you do an apple pastry or something? I thought I was reading that was one of your
The name of the upcoming episode is More American Than Apple Pie.
That's it, okay.
Right?
That's what I
So that's what that. So you might just happen to see something to do with some pie on there.
There you go. There you go.
Like you don't know already.
Something to do with that on there.
And then just a nice dollop of cream right up top. That just kind of gives it just that complete look. But there it is.
Very nice.
That is amazing.
You know me, I'm going to get a big old bite. You know, in television, the hosts are usually small bites. Now.
Huh? I can't get it all on.
The winner, right here, guys. He is the winner. That is amazing. Thank you so much. And you guys stay dialed in. He's got a lot of things coming up, and he's going to be one to watch. So thanks again, Chef. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
And we'll be right back.
Andy Flynn is the family law attorney at our law firm who's been practicing for coming up on 9 years. He is an outstanding attorney. He has an extraordinary reputation. He's smart, he works incredibly hard, and he gets great results. And that's why, referrals are the most humbling part of any business. When someone thinks so highly of you that they're going to tell their friends and family. And that's the main source of business that we have, are referrals. And Andy gets a lot of referrals.
Chef Rob here. Never forget, choose 100% dairy and accept no substitutes. Dedicated farmers, happy cows, real milk. Prairie Farms Dairy. Check out our website at prairiefarms.com.
Boom! Another great show.
Explosive.
Oh, wow.
You just never know who's going to show up.
Hey, speaking to you, you want to show up, you have a talent, you have a backstory, give us an email, a call. Yeah.
Send a carrier pigeon, whatever.
Yeah,
Let us
whatever
know.
it takes.
Yeah. Because it's important. I mean, look, we want to eventually get to that, streaming on demand. So we want you guys to demand,
Demand us.
Demand us and demand whomever you'd like to be on the show.
That's right. We're open for anybody and anything, and we're excited.
Yep. You've probably noticed we're into week 2 now of the new stuff. Rob, take it back. Rob is a Rob. Come on out. Come on, Rob. Listen, the dude built from scratch, like all the opens, the bumps, the closes. He's the scary voice between the pieces.
And you know what's crazy? He works for free.
He
Thank
does.
you,
It's
Rob.
amazing. I mean, this is the best intern I've ever seen. I mean, amazing. Really good stuff. And I got a little housekeeping to do. Okay.
Okay.
I might have misidentified an individual, so I have to
think
go.
you
I
made
have
a
to go.
huge
Okay.
mistake.
I'm gonna remedy that now, so we can continue this relationship, and it's not weird. Lucas Winkler, everybody. All right, great on audio, because if you don't have sound, you don't have a show.
Correct.
Right?
Yeah.
Now, I got excited because what Lucas does is during the segments when we're on a break, he plays a little music. We get to dance. It really helps the mood. So I call him a DJ. And man, I got hate mail. I just got hate mail. So we're going to clearly define what happens over here.
Yeah, so I am an audio engineer. Basically, I take in every single microphone that everybody has, I record it in here, and then I do all the processing afterwards on each individual microphone so that I can get everybody to sound their best.
Do you always just bring mine up a little higher than Julie?
No,
so
I was going to say bring mine higher.
I did not do that, no.
Because you're actually good at your job.
At least not this time.
And here's the thing, so for musicians who want to come on, singers, songwriters, this is the guy, because you make them sound really good.
Yeah,
And you know what? Go ahead and give yourself a little plug. When he's not here at the Spiel, he actually has his own gig. He has his own studio. My kid, he writes some rap song and stuff. And he wants that maybe for a birthday down the road. But tell us about your business.
Yeah, so I have a recording studio in Marion, Illinois. I help people, create music. Or if they've already got everything created, and I just kind of add that last touch to make it sound that album quality, that radio quality sound. Yeah.
Do you ever have to say, that was really bad, can you do it again? Or
I don't say that.
I say, hey, something happened in here, we got to redo it.
Yeah, so I say, hey, that's a really good take, but let's just do another one.
That's the professional way to do it. All right.
Yeah.
What's the name? How do they find you?
327audio.com.
Okay. Is there a story behind 327?
It was one of my favorite Bible verses, and I actually have it tattooed on my arm as well. Yeah.
I thought you were 32 and you've been married 7 times.
No,
Nope,
Julie,
definitely
it's not that kind of show. Well, thank you, Lucas, and I now know what you are. But just for fun, can I call you a DJ? Because I've always kind of wanted to, just be buds with a DJ.
Yeah, well, I actually used to DJ. I DJ'd for a whole year.
I already knew that.
Yeah.
See, there you go. All right, thanks. Are we cool now?
Oh, yeah,
Everything's good.
definitely.
All right, stop the hate mail. You don't have to write in. I now know the definition. Julie, did you know it would be such a big deal?
I did know
It's a
that.
huge
I
deal.
did. You know what?
Huge deal.
A sound engineer.
Right.
I mean, he's earned that title.
It's big stuff.
Yeah,
man.
he's
Big
just
stuff.
not a DJ. Anybody can be a DJ.
Yeah. I'm afraid the contract he's going to try to negotiate
I
now.
know.
Yeah, it's a little scary.
Well, Rob's working for free. Maybe Lucas.
Right. We can work on that. Hey, so life's filled with surprises, right?
Yes.
All right. We love streaming. We love watching the shows. I know that, in this crazy time, a lot of people are spending time watching shows. Not that we're promoting or condoning a show or saying that it's good, but the popular show Ozark, right?
Do you watch it?
You know what?
I've not caught it.
I've watched it, and here's the deal. So I'm in Georgia visiting family, and we're out on the Lake Allatoona in Georgia. And we already know that that's a very film-friendly area. Mm-hmm. We rode by the Blue Cat Lodge.
What's that got to do with anything on television?
Everything. I mean, listen, Ozark, that's where the embezzling was happening. That's where he's cooking the books. People were murdered there. It was just great. It was just a lot of things at the bar. But, have you ever been to a place where they film and you walk in and you're like, dude, this looks nothing like what the thing.
I have.
Cheers, so disappointing.
Yeah, I know. And Friends.
Really?
Yeah, that was disappointing.
Did you go to Central Perk?
I did.
Is that what it is? Mm-hmm. What does it look like? Is the sofa there?
You know what? It's just small.
Mm-hmm.
Everything, like that whole scene that we see, it's just like right here.
Right there.
Yeah.
Right there. All right. Well, you know what? You've seen it. We're showing them every inch of growing media in the Spiel studio, right? Mm-hmm. But you got to tune in week after week, and we're going to keep it fun.
Tell your friends, too. They're missing a great show.
Yeah. And the aunts and the uncles and the cousins. All right. We'll see you next time.
Turn the camera on so we should get everybody coming out to eat. You came over and stepped right in front of the camera and just stood there in front of it the whole time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, isn't this show called The Lucas? Or no, it's Spiel, sorry.
Realize, babe, and I would like to satisfy all the things that you need are from your inside out, or to the heart to beat, beat, beat. You don't know what you run into, baby.
What's going on, guys? No, we're just setting up some lights for the musical segment of the show. These crazy lights right here.
No, we're not. No, we're not. It's just television. It's not real. Tell them wrong.
No, this isn't real. We're not. This is my segment. They're hijacking.
This is my segment.
So love me. So love me or else, yeah.
Hi, my name is Brandon, and this is my wife, Amanda, and we're assistant pastors at Workhouse Chapel in West Frankfort. And we've been on the Spiel today for our book, Hi There, How Do I Know You? And it was an exciting time. It was fantastic. It felt very comfortable. And yeah.
For every strand of your hair, I put my hands through, and you don't know what you've run into, baby.
All right, cool.
Yeah, this one's still pretty fresh, still pretty new.
Okay.
Hot press. So if I mess up, just pretend like you don't know the song at all.
4 days, yeah. So baby, just love me. Ooh.
How's it going, guys? Matt Basler here. Thank you so much to the Spiel for having me out. If you're a local artist and want to get on the show, check them out on Facebook. Check me out on Facebook under Matt Basler Music. If you want to get in touch with me, I'll help you get in touch with them. We can make it happen. Thank you guys so much for supporting local business.
We just got done with Matt Basler. He was so freaking good. I can't wait for you guys to see that. Next we got some cooking. I have no idea what he's about to make, but I'm sure it's going to be incredible. It's going to be awesome.
Wipe away those tears you cry. Be with you morning, noon, and night. This is care, not obsession, so don't let our love die. Just love me. Just love me, or